Captain's log. I've received the Princeton Reverb amp. The odds are against us. The situation is grim.
You're Tranya, Captain.
Excellent. Thank you, Yeoman. Here's a report. Normally, getting something in this condition would concern me, but I do not believe in a no-win situation. D-Lab will make it happen.
Scenario.
So what we have here is a Mojotone kit of the Fender Princeton Reverb. The person that built it had difficulties trying to get the amp to operate. After several attempts, he finally said enough's enough. He sent it to D-Lab for evaluation and repair. So I performed my initial inspection, and I'll point out quickly what I found. Ground routing to the eyelet board is not correct. If you look right there, you see that green lead? That should be going over here, which grounds these caps and resistors. Instead, is hooked into the reverb circuit. V2 is also miswired. The high voltage supply that should simply be going to pins 6 and 1 is also jumped over to pin 2. So more than likely that 12AT7 took a hit. If we go over here to the 6V6s, you'll see a pair of 470 ohm resistors that have been added. This circuit never had those resistors. It relied on the 1K resistor to feed the screens. So if you look at this wire, it goes to pin 6, right? And then look up here. There's another jumper that's taking the pin 4s together. I measured these 470 ohm resistors. They're open. So we need to correct the screen circuit. There's been an added variable bias system. I looked at the bias board, and it is still as it was configured stock. When you add variable bias, the resistors on this board have to be removed. If you refer to a Fender Deluxe circuit, you'll see that this has not been configured correctly. So I do not know if the bias is actually operating correctly. They did put in a ground plane little copper plate there, but unfortunately it's not connected. It still has the wires across the back of the pots for the ground routing. I think the intention was there, but it was not followed through. Looking here at the speaker jacks, this jack is for the internal speaker. That is the positive lead for the internal speaker, which is not wired. Currently, the only way that this amp could have any output would be on the external speaker jack. So this wiring was not correct. The wire gauge to the 6V6s is not adequate. This heavy gauge wiring coming off the transformer should have fed the 6V6s, and then after that point it's okay to reduce down to the 22 gauge. I did a quick continuity check of the jumpers on the eyelet board, and it appears as though some of those are not connected properly. The only way I can verify that is to unwire and remove the eyelet board, separate it from the insulator, and inspect those jumper connections. So you see, I have quite the challenge here, but I accept the danger. But what I want to relay to you, if you buy these kits and you're not comfortable with it, don't attempt the build and end up with something like this that you have to send out and have it rebuilt, because you are doubling your efforts. D-Lab is here, and I do this kind of work every day. So use your resources. As they say, conquest is easy, control is not. D-Lab, out!